So a sketch became a plank became a stand, and then suddenly the things I used to always lose are right there when I need them. I sketched this a little while back, keeping the idea alive on paper. Now in timber, I roughly spaced out where the tech would sit, making sure I had enough for the build. I marked out the cutting lines on timber, just two simple rectangles, with little extra to trim off first. I set the depth so the saw would reach all the way past the guide and through the timber. Using a straight guide, I made the first cut with the circular saw, carefully following the line, trimming off the extra piece. I decided to try splitting it freehand into the two pieces I needed. It went surprisingly well, leaving me with two straight edge rectangles. I sanded the two pieces, smoothing the edges and taking off the old thin coating. Then I balanced one rectangle on the edge of the other, allowing the idea to take shape, making sure I was heading in the right direction. I used my phone and earphone case as templates, sketching around them so I'd know where to carve a small divot later. Then glancing around, I grabbed the orbital cylinder as a guide, gently tracing the curve I wanted for the corners. With the curves marked, I carefully cut the rounded corners on the bandsaw. At this point I was getting quite excited as I could really see the shape coming through. I wrote out the divots of the phone and the earphones by hand, taking my time. Sometimes the simplest way is to just do it by eye. For the iPad edge, I used the other rectangle as a straight guide, making two careful passes to get the depth just right. As you can probably tell, I'm quite the novice at woodworking, so if you see me doing anything wrong or have any tips or better techniques, please comment them below. I routed most of the curved edge, following the edge around the entire piece. To protect the edge while routing the ends, I clamped down some extra sacrificial wood, a small precaution to keep each edge clean, letting the router glide smoothly without risking the work. I fitted a drill bit, preparing to make pilot holes for the screw. I sketched out the positions for the screw holes, taking a moment to consider alignment. I used some bricks to clamp against, to hold the timber steady, making sure each hole would pass straight through, lining up perfectly with the other piece. Little solutions like this make the work feel precise without rushing. I drilled the pilot holes one by one, and using the 8mm bit, I drilled some countersunk holes for the screws to sit in. I made sure they were just deep enough to stick a dowel in on top, to make it look like I connected the pieces with a dowel. After I glued and screwed the pieces together, I filled the remaining holes with glue, popped in a dowel and gently hammered them in. A few hours later, I returned, trimming the dowel spots with the Japanese saw and sanding them smooth with the orbital sander. Once everything was on, I could see if it actually worked. I love making little things like this. They make my room feel way more real. So many things I own are just mass-produced junk. That even little things like this give my room so much character and life. I'm really excited to continue getting better at designing and building custom pieces, for my room and eventually for my house.